Hey y'all, what is going on? This is Jesse Both from the 19th hole. I've got the rookie refresher here for you, and basically what that means is I took the holes from past tournaments, the holes that we will be playing in this upcoming community tournament, and I put them all together here for you in one video so that you can watch them in all one long video and not have to click on a bunch of different videos to kind of refresh your minds on this course. So we're starting with hole 1 here. This is a par 3, and it's a 30% downhill, so it's a plus 30% on the elevation. The way I'm playing it here in this video is with the long iron. I prefer the backbone for this shot. You can try to go for the rough bump with the katana ball and the sniper if you want, and that's definitely a way that you can play this way. This hole I just feel it's a little bit riskier here from the first tee, so for that reason I go with the backbone. I like my white ring kind of back there around the back edge of the rough line there. As you can see, I have the ball guide with the second bounce just before the fringe of the green, with that line kind of pointed down the right side of that white row of squares. So we make our adjustment here. It's a plus 30%, and we hit this one perfect. It's going to come in perfectly, and it's actually going to fall for the ace. Now, the way you want to offset this shot may change depending on the wind direction that you have in the tournament, so definitely keep that in mind when you're going forward and playing your round on Monday. Alright, we got hole number 2 here. This is a par 4, and actually one of my most favorite holes that we've had in a long time. The way we're playing this one from the rookie is with the big topper. We're going to play 0% here for the elevation. We're going to put our shot here kind of going through these two trees here, as you can see, kind of with the edge of our yellow ring right there at the edge of the bunker. Make sure that you have a marlin ball here, because if you have other balls, it may really make this shot a little bit more difficult. As you see, we barely run into in between clubs there, but it's going to be okay. So we hit this one perfect. It's going to come in real nice, and it's going to hit this rough, and it's going to roll down and put us in position for the eagle chip. So I'm going to show you one other way of me playing this hole, and then we'll show you the second shot as well. Alright, so in this example, we're playing it pretty much the same exact way as we played it the first time. And you're going to see once again I kind of run into the issue of almost going at like maximum min adjustment. So to correct the issue this next time, what I'm going to do is I'm actually add a little bit of left curl onto the shot. And hopefully that will give me a little bit better of an angle down that hill on the second bounce into the hole. So as you see right there, we come up just a tiny bit short of making our full adjustment here. But as you're going to see, in the end, it's not going to matter. We hit the perfect shot with just a tiny bit of curl, and it's going to bounce through the trees and down the slope. Actually, with that curl, we brought that shot around those trees, so we didn't have to worry about even going through the trees. So that was kind of a nice thing right there. Sometimes I've seen people go through those trees and actually hit the tree. So trying to go around the tree with a little bit of left curl is definitely something to think about, and as you can see, it put me in a great position for a little chip with my my Firefly. Drop the eagle. Alright, we got hole number 3 here. This is a par 5, and another good hole. I think these are some pretty good holes in this tournament, but depending on the wind, it could be some high scoring here. So I went with the Titan here. You can either kind of bounce the shot over, or you can try to, fly the shot. If you have a tailwind like I have here, paired with a Titan ball, you'll be able to fly the shot over and not bounce it over. And, if you can't fly the shot over this rough, then you're actually going to be looking at probably more of like a wood shot for your second shot. So if you can, I would definitely recommend trying to, fly the shot in the air. So we make our adjustment, we push back up to max. We're playing this one at plus 10%. And we hit this one with a little bit of overpower. And as you see, we're over with plenty of distance to spare, and we roll down the fairway quite nicely. Now from this spot right here, we're going to play a plus 10%. And it's going to put me in position with my long iron. So if you don't get quite far enough down the fairway, then you're going to be playing a wood club which in that case, then you want to play the shot kind of off the back of that that hill on the green with backspin. It's going to be a much tougher shot to hole out with the wood club. So if you have a guardian may be a good option to have here. So we're going with our Saturn, which is our guardian of long irons, and we're using full backspin. We're going to aim the ball guide pretty much right at the hole, and we're playing this one at plus 10% for the elevation change on this shot. You play whatever percentage of club you are at distance-wise, and you make your shot, hit it perfect. This one's going to come in, and as you see, it came, wow, that's pretty close. So yeah, that's definitely a great way to play this hole, and I'm going to show you one more example of that way to play this hole. So we're playing the shot pretty much at max club, as you can see. We're going to play the same exact way with the max backspin, a little bit of right spin. The reason to go with that right spin is just to kind of straighten that ball guide out a little bit. So we're going to play it the same setup as we played it the first time, with the third bounce right at the hole. So max backspin, and we actually took away that 1 bar of right spin here on this shot. Make our adjustment here, play our shot, try to hit it perfect. We do. And as you see in this shot, we actually do get the drop and get the albatross. So remember, second shot plus 10%. Alright, our next hole is hole number 4. This is a par 3. And we'll be playing this one with plus 10% elevation on the shot. And you can play this one with a sniper or a viper. You could try to play a rough bump as well as on this shot as well. If you have the sniper is probably the better club to play on this hole, just because of the ball guide that you get with it. But we're going to play this one with the viper. We're going to 2 bars of backspin, and then we're going to aim our shot before the rough with our red ring kind of edging into the rough just a little bit with that ball guide pointed towards the hole. Make our adjustment here at plus 10% for the elevation, plus whatever length you are in for your club, min, mid, or max. You hit this one perfect, and this one's going to come in, bounce over the rough, bounce on the fringe, and get that nice roll to the hole, and it came very close. The only change I would have made on that shot is maybe the red ring a little bit farther into the rough, and that's definitely a hole that can be dialed in for sure. Alright, hole 5 is next. This is a par 4. This is a very tough par 4. So you can either play this shot to the left-hand side, or you can try like a power curl shot to the right-hand side. What I'm going to be playing here, with a tailwind, I think playing the shot to the left-hand side is your best bet in the rookie. Now, you can try to go for the power curl from the right side to that middle fairway, but I just feel like you don't really get far enough up that middle fairway in the rookie to really give yourselves a really legit chance at like a short iron or wedge shot to the hole. So for me, playing to the left side makes much more sense and is the better play on this hole. Play plus 10% on the drive, and we'll play plus 10% on the second shot as well. You definitely want to bring a long iron with some backspin. So the Goliath or the Saturn is good if you feel confident that you can get up to the end of that fairway. The Saturn is good, but if you don't feel that confidence to be able to get up to the end of that fairway on the drive, then you definitely want to go with the Goliath to give yourself a little bit extra distance on the second shot. As you see, we're playing a good amount of backspin. We're playing the right spin just to straighten out the ball guide to the hole. And then we're going to try to play this shot. There is a slope in front of the hole, so if you can play this one just perfectly, you can hit that slope and it will funnel back down to the hole. But it's a tough little funnel to hit. Unfortunately, we hit this one great to the right, but we're still going to see that our distance was pretty spot on, I would say, and we had a pretty good shot at dropping that with a perfect. So definitely, it's a possible drop, but not one that I would expect to get. Hole 6 here, a par 5. This is definitely an albatross chance, and we'll be trying to set ourselves up for a rough bump here. So on this drive, I play plus 10% on the drive. And I'm going with a Navigator ball. You can go with the Quasar ball here as well. We're really just trying to get our shot up the fairway. The the thing about this shot is if you go too far up the fairway, then for your second shot, you may either find yourself in between clubs or needing to use a long iron. So you don't want to go too far up this fairway. I think I went with like 3 bars of topspin, and I think to me, 3 bars of topspin is going to put you in a pretty good position to be safely using your wood for this second shot. So for the second shot, we're playing minus 10%. And I've heard some people say minus 20%, but I've always played it minus 10%. So kind of, work around those numbers, see what works best for you. We find our min, our max. We're playing this one right at mid adjustment. As you see, I have a Viper. This will definitely be a much better shot with a sniper. So if you have a sniper level 4 or up, then I would definitely recommend that. So if you're playing with the Viper, do keep in mind you won't have a fully developed guide. So just because the ball guide does not show it going to the hole doesn't mean the ball will not get to the hole. So definitely keep that in mind. We make our adjustment here at mid-distance of our club. And we just want to hit this one perfect. We hit great to the right. And it's going to come in. It bounces and rolls really nicely. So I felt like we had the distance on that one really good. A perfect ball. Would have been very close, I think. Alright, next hole is hole number 7, par 3. This is a hole that we have not had in a long time. You can play this one on Tour 3. I'm going to play this one at plus 20%. I strongly suggest a long iron, like the Backbone, for the purpose of that it's got really good accuracy. That's the main reason why I like the Backbone so much, especially in lower level play, like the rookie division. So here we're going to go 3 back and 2 right spin. We try to find a spot on that fairway that gives us kind of a consistent bounce. It's tough because the fairway is lumpy, and it's going to be hard to find a very consistent bounce. So you want to try to line that ball guide up with the hole as best as you can. I probably would have gone 3 back and 1.5 right spin if I had to do this one over again. That half a bar of right spin definitely did me in here. And I think with only 1.5 bars of right spin on that shot, we would have got the drop on the shot. So plus 20%, Tour 3, go try to practice that shot a few times. Hole number 8, this is a shot that you can get to the green if you want. I'm going to use a Titan ball. If I had to use a Berserker here, there's no doubt in my mind I would have been on the green. But, if you're someone that does not have, huge amounts of Berserker balls, then a Titan ball will do. And even lower, lower than a Titan will still be okay. You just won't get as close to the green. So instead of a wedge chip like you're going to see me have here, if you went with a lower ball, then you may have like a short iron chip, which is still going to be okay. So you kind of have that choice. Do you want to try to go for the green, lay up short for the wedge, or go cheaper and lay up even shorter for the short iron? So we play plus 10% on the drive. And as you see on the second shot, we're going to play this one at 0% for this second shot. We got the end bringer, so we have a little bit of a luxury here. I'm going to extend my ball guide out a little bit and play this one a little bit farther back in the green, and then let the roll do the work. But if you don't, just play with a little bit of topspin, and then just go at the hole. You just have a little bit longer of a chip than I had here. We played this one at mid-distance of our end bringer, and we got the roll, and we dropped it for the eagle. This is definitely going to be, if we get a proper win, it's going to be a must-eagle hole, in my opinion, to banner on the weekend. All right, last and final hole, hole number 9, and we finish this one off with such a doozy. Par 5, and this is a shot that you can go to the green, possibly. Well, maybe not in the rookie, but you can get pretty close still. So big topper, Berserker. If you have a nice tailwind, you could probably get away with using a Titan ball on this hole. But with the headwind that I have here in this video, I had to go with the Berserker just to make sure I had the distance. It does play forgiving, more to the right-hand side of this bounce spot. Great lefts, though, definitely aren't as forgiving. As you see, we get that one way up the fairway, and that's going to put us in prime position for a short iron chip. So for the second shot here, I'm playing minus 10% on this second shot. If you play this one safe and you play the second shot from back off that top island thing, then I would play that at plus 30%. So the second shot here is plus 10%. I think I said it might have said minus. It's actually plus 10%. Sorry about that. We use a little bit of backspin, and we want to straighten our ball guide out to the hole with side spin. And then we play this one again, plus 10%. We make our adjustment here, and all you got to do left is hit perfect to drop this one for the albatross, and oh, we hit great left. So this one's going to come in just to the left of the pin, but perfect distance for the albatross drop. So I'm going to show you this one more time, playing this hole one more time with a little bit more favorable of a wind. So this time you're going to see that we have a little bit more of a tailwind, and we're going to be using our big topper. And I think we use a Titan, or do we switch? We might switch to a Berserker here in the end. I think we switch to a Berserker here in the end, or maybe we don't. Maybe we stick with the Titan. Okay, so with the tailwind, we stick with the Titan. Straight tailwind here, so we're going to aim this one right down the middle, trying to give ourselves a little bit of leeway to the left and to the right. I actually would have aimed this one a little bit farther to the right on the initial setup, just to give ourselves a little bit more of a cushion to the left. But as you see, it bounces nicely, and it bounces up the fairway. If we had gone with a Berserker ball there, you can see we definitely would have got a much better bounce and gotten much farther down the fairway. So plus 10% on the drive, plus 10% here for this second shot as well. We're playing it with the Thorn. We're going to use some backspin and some right spin, and it looks like we're playing this one right about at, I don't know, mid to 25% club, somewhere in there. So 2 and 2 is the spin that I use in this tournament. And then we just line the ball up with the ball guide up with the hole. You want to give yourself about 1.5 squares of distance between the end of that ball guide and the hole, just to give yourself a little bit of room for that roll. We make our very small adjustment here. This was a very easy adjustment with such a nice little tailwind. I don't expect them to give us something this easy in the tournament. But as you see, we roll it in, we drop it for the albatross, and that's it's going to be a pretty decent hole to have a chance at that albatross, I would say. All right, thank you all very much for joining me for this rookie refresh for the upcoming community tournament. Hopefully you all learned a thing or two, and at least kind of refreshed your mind on these holes. Tours 3, Tours 8, and Tour 9 are where you can find these holes to play. And of course, Tour 3 is the only tour that has T1, so you can practice them holes on that tee. God bless.